welcome back to Opally Hour, and today we have Moomin 100, quite an landmark, isn't it really? So quite exciting to see what we have coming up on this one. Just to recap, this is what we did in 99. So we put this window in and this door. My door works absolutely fine. When it's standing up, it's not going to swing quite like that, she says, so she wants to do that anyway. And anyone who watched it knows that I wasn't overly happy with the door. It kind of looks alright. Window's fine, no problem with my window, but my door just, it's not the fact that it keeps opening either, it just doesn't look so good on the inside. Like, see? Okay, it doesn't look terrible in the camera, it's just me. Alright, so we did that, and we also did our coat rack. Those are not fixed. They do say to fix them, but I haven't because I haven't decided what I want to do with my coat hanger right now. Alright, so let's see what we have in 100. Those can go to one side, you're not going to see those again for a while anyway. Alright, so we are doing another window. We're also fixing some strips. I do have a slight difference I think I'm going to try on this. We are also putting on that other floor that we had in issue 72, and we are going to do more to the desk, but it's not going to be finished. Pretty certain, because we don't have the drawers for it yet, and I'm sure it's going to have drawers. Alright, what do we have in our magazine? So the Philly Gonks children. Okay, so you've got like she had quite a few, didn't she? And then you've got about their connections. I like this thing. Her characteristics are respectful, quiet and polite. In the house next door to the Moomin house. So they got lots of play buddies, haven't they? If you didn't see that, it's there. I'm not sure where my camera was. And then we got some variations on them. And we also have our little caption down here. Mama! You always said we should have discipline. Alright, well, they're well-disciplined children. I have to say, I brought up my children to always say please and thank you and have manners. And I got complimented many, many times. I'm not so sure that that's... They quite have them all now, but I think they do. I'm still told they do, so I'm sure they do. And then we rock and roll over to Where is the Joy in Living? I'm reading upside down. Hemulin, who hates his life. I have no idea. Bless him though. We all have days like that, don't we? I think we do. I don't think I can be the only one. And then we got all about us a little fact. Autumn in Finland. So that's kind of cool. And then we get, I think, straight into our building. So we are starting with a window. Done that a few times now, but I'm feeling a bit more confident than I once did. We are then going to install it in the same wall, so we will be needing that wall. I don't know why I said I wouldn't, but we do. And then we only have 2 windows left, so we are getting there. We are going to need these panels that we were given in issue 94. Okay, and we're going to be working on some card strips on here, and we're also going to be putting the roof on. And well, before we do that, we're going to put a 3mm strip on there, which is fine. I'm going to do that. I will do all of this actually on this page. And then we are just checking, make sure these are okay. I think that's what it's saying. And oh, I was telling you again. Why is it telling you again? Don't know. And then we will be putting the flooring on, and then we put a strip on it. I actually feel that the strip is going to be a lot easier to do without it being put on, so I'm going to probably do that first, and then we go ahead and we make the drawer parts to our unit. So let's see, our desk even. So let's see what we have. I forgot to undo this, sorry. Don't need my die today, I don't think. Can't remember how I did the desk now. I'll have to look at it. So we have our window things inside of our window. It is one of those ones. These are all our window parts, so I'm going to need to get my marker out. And these are all, and this one's for the windows too. So is this, won't need the marker for that there. And the plastic, I don't think we really need to glue this plastic in. And I thought about this as well. You know that decking, the bathhouse they call it. I don't reckon you need to glue in those windows. I think if you put the plastic frame, like how it's designed with the bits going across, in, then you drop in your plastic window and then put the other one on top. It would hold it in place anyway, just as a side thought. And then these pieces we're going to need as well. They're going to need cutting, and we will need those for the window. And there's no small parts, so we just need to make sure that the window plastic is kept. So let me grab the other pieces we're going to need so you know what to put to hand. So we need that big wall, but we won't need that till quite a bit later. Let me get the other bit. So we need our flooring and also our panels that we've used before, and this part of the desk, which is all white. So I'm going to be using my white marker a lot for this. So first thing I'm going to do is separate these pieces out and get them sanded down. They're quite thick pieces. Well, it came apart quite easy, didn't it? Not so much this one, it says no. So when it's tough like that, you want to do it from both sides. You might be able to do it better than I don't have the strongest hands, if you don't know that by now. Hey, true fact. And these will be, I guess, the sides, or the inner part. I don't know. Got tiny little holes in here. Makes you wonder what we're putting in, because I actually don't know. And then we go this way, do the same for any which didn't go all the way through. And then you want to make sure you sand them down. So let's see. I really need to get a new sanding stick out. I think I might be getting close to running out actually. I end up going through quite a few, although I got loads and loads from different builds that I never really use. They're just smaller and they're not standing sticks, they're just sheets. Although I've got a few little pink ones which look like emery boards really for your nails. Just make sure that when you feel across them that it's nice and smooth. That, and this one's just the ends, just got to be a little bit careful on this. And then I am going to get my white markers out and start getting everything ready, and it's probably going to need some of it anyway, a good 4 coats. I'll have a look at this and find out try and work out what sides need it or not. I sometimes have a little bit of an issue until I start putting things together to know what size we're talking about, but we'll see what shows and what doesn't. That doesn't have any white on it, any sides, so we'll see. And I'll also see what they suggest. In fact, I'll do that right now. So the windows, we know that they're going to get you to do paint the insides of them, although they actually don't tell you to on here. Interesting, but they always have, so I'm pretty sure that you probably just want to do it. And as far as the desk goes, we will be painting, we'll be making them and then painting them afterwards, but because I'm not using paints, I'm just going to do the markers first. Sometimes paints we use leave a residue, so you can't get quite such a close fit, but in this case we won't be. I don't know what these little holes are for. I have no idea. Trying to see how they're going to go. So these look like shelves. Oh, it's going to be little cupboards. No. Oh, don't like that idea. Putting those pins into those little cupboards are normally a nightmare. Okay, alright, let me get this marker going and we will make a start. So I'll be back in about an hour and a half my time probably, and about 5 seconds yours, so I will see you in a mo. Okay, it could probably again do with another coat, but sometimes one gets just bored of doing them. So I'm going to make the frame up first like we had before, so just make sure that the longer ends are one end and the shorter the other, and then we have our curved edge, I'm trying to think of the wording, and long as they go both the same way, I think we are okay, because otherwise I can't remember which way around they go. I'm just trying to see if I can see. Ugh. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's the way it is. And that you have the indent going on the inside. Well, maybe I should look at another window, huh? Hold on. I'm doubting myself. Ooh, can I even tell? I'm not sure I can. But I think that is the way it goes. It doesn't really give you instructions in this one. They think you probably know what you're doing by now. They don't know me well, so... But that's what we're going to go with. I could very well be wrong. I think these widths are the same, so I don't think it matters whether it's the long or the short. I'm really doubting myself. Maybe I should get another book. Let me get a book from a couple ago. Okay, yes, it is right. Sometimes you should trust yourself, huh? Okay. Same with this one then. Just make sure the indents are on the inside. This will square it up, and we can leave this to one side for a little bit while we make the cover. Nice tight fit. And I think what I'm going to do is put my window in so that we can make sure it's all squared away. Get the plastic off. Enjoyable as it is, come to the end of all this soon. Left half that one on. How unfortunate, I get a double peel in here. Yeah, this one really doesn't want to come clean. Let's see, what do I do? Let me just make sure that I'm not going crazy. I kept the book out, hold on. Pretty certain it's the frame. I think we have it like so. So this goes in, and we don't really have to glue it if we get it even, but I will check this before I do it. Okay, it's the opposite way. Right, so frame inwards with the concave side going down. Again, you probably don't overly need to glue this, but this will square it up. And then your glass on top. Really thinking this is not right. I don't think it's right, you know. I think it's the other way. I don't think I can read instructions anymore. I think we had it right in the first place. So, like so, like so. And like I say, we don't need to glue that really because it's going to be held in together with this anyway. So let's not worry too much about that. Let me get a tissue out. Of course, Juliet, I think it's for her. Oh no, there's a pin. I was going to say, and of course I've lost the pin. No, we found. It is found. Right, let's do this frame. So that's for the inside. I don't need to worry about that. So let me get some, oh gosh, up, down. Some clamps it was anyway. Right, and as before we put, which one's to the bottom? This one here, allowing for the fact that the windowsill is going to go above it. So we get this going first. Not a chance by doing it all together. So just line that up. So I'm not being cocky with this, but my last one was quite the success. Last couple have been quite successful. And on about after the stress of doing the first few, it was feeling quietly optimistic that this will be okay. Okay. Quite down enough. Alright, and then we get the top one on, and we will wait for it to dry. Top one that goes like so. So it's got the flatter part at the top. I think. Yes. And again, I'm just going to clamp that before I do other stuff to this. Let it dry, and we will move on to doing this desk. Because that will also need some setting up. By the time I get it situated, I'm surprised there's any glue left. I guess beauty of using wood glue is I do get an opportunity to situate it until I move it. I have no control on my hands, guys. They speak a different language. Okay, put that to one side. Right, let's put this in. We'll hold on to all of that, and we will come back to our frame in a moment. Don't think I need those instructions now. And obviously when it's done, we will put it in the house, right, all the way to the end. So it's the last thing they want us to do because we have the house to do. But I want to get this window done before we do the house. So let's see. Yes. Alright, so you have two pieces, one with a line on, or a ledge, and a flat one. So we want the flat one with none. And my instructions are disappearing. And we are going to put these in with the hole onto this side. So just make sure that after you're painting, if you've painted already or dyed, that you can still access those pesky holes. And you want the hole to this side over here. Just realised I was probably out there. And then another one, again, making sure your hole is correctly positioned below it. And this is just going to go in these tabs. Again, like so. I don't like making units this way, but I will have a month to wait to be able to put the drawers in, and doors or whatever they're putting in. So it's a question of having to lose the pin. And then this one we are having with the ledge going upwards, sitting on top like that, away from the pins. Just checking myself. Yes. Okay, so a little bit of glue along here, and we make 2 of these. Identical, I believe. I will check. Might be the opposite way on the holes from the shelves. It could be. Can't see for trying to get it in. Oh, just tight squeeze. And this one in here. Make sure that that is done. So this one has the door holes this way. And it looks like we're making it the same way, to be honest with you. Except we are starting with the flat one, this one this time, and we are putting the holes further away. I don't know if that's going to make any difference overall. I guess we'll find out. Like so, and then make sure we're matching the hole. Goes all the way through into here. Almost. We can do it. Okay, like so. And then we'll put this on, like this. Should have painted these white, and they show up like a sore thumb. Guess we're going to do it anyway because that's when they want you to do the painting. And pop this on. Give it a good squeeze, and that is what we have. Done one wrong for sure because the holes are in different spots. Well, that'd be my fault. That would have been not good, would it? Whereas this one wants to come out first, this one gets to be moved. Let's turn that around. I just have a feeling it should be opposite to this one. I don't think it should be like that. I think the top one was right and the bottom one's wrong. Because I think the holes will be opposite for a door. My fault for putting it in wrong, obviously. And that one needs to go in a bit better, but because it's wood glue it's not all dry, although probably most of it I'm wearing right now. Glad I found it now. Alright. So what mine is from, I think this is the back of it where the lip is here. So this one has the holes this side, and if I turn that one around, then this one has the holes this side. It does. I can hardly see that one from the top, but it does. So they will be opposite each other. This I'm going to put a pin through because it is a very small hole. Okay. Right, and now they will get you to paint it all to match our chest of drawers. For me, I want to definitely paint the sides here where those have gone through, but now we put it on our top, which I have left on the table. Okay, so one assumes that you have the holes towards the outer side, and you do. So we are just going to stick them in here, like so, so that it goes on that backing. And then we will just go over it all with a bit of paint. Trying to get my bearings again, I just had them, like so. Well, direction is hard, is all I'm going with. Okay. So it fits in quite nicely, and this one will have the hole to this side, like so. Hopefully you can see. There we go, there's the hole. So that one goes in there, and then I'm just going to give this a good coat of paint afterwards. On the inside, top, like so. Right, and let that dry. Then I will go over it with some paint, just to especially cover up those catches. Never thought that through. But if you were painting it, now would be your time, or the time before when you had the drawers out, then you would paint them. Alright, so I'm going to give it a minute and come back to our window, get that done before I bring in the main table, and we start that process. Main model. Okay, we are going to go and put this on. Thought someone was coming to my door then, but they weren't. That's all right, because I don't want it to get so far that everything's too dry for when we put it on the house. Also, I don't have the same problem as I had with the door. So this is the worst part, is this little one. Left the lid off. Oh dear. More haste, less speed. Okay, I'll pop that on there. Do that from this side. Or alternatively, drop it on the floor. Okay. I know, well, okay, it all came off. I know I didn't want to let it dry too long. Let's get the hair out. However, somewhat would have been better than that. In fact, the top parts come off as well, so okay. I'm not going to quite rush as much as I thought I was. Patience was lacking. And this is when I can understand why people go and get super glue out. And this isn't taken at the top either. Maybe it's because I fiddled with it too much. Probably wore the glue rather than having it on there. I was thinking to myself, maybe I should put it in when it's just like this and then put the other bit on afterwards. But I don't know if I'd have enough room with the clips to do that. I would on one side, but not on the other. Could I go through the door? Potentially. Okay, I'm going to do that because I want to make sure that this goes in. So you want the rounded side on the outside, and I want it all to marry up to the frame this time, so I don't have the problems as before. So I'm just going to insert the frame, this into it. Bit dangerous, but I don't want the same problems as I had with the door. Plus, that is taking its sweet ass time to get done. So poke that through, and I want it all the way through because we are going to put a top on it. And you can see it's cracked. That's where I was using clamps yesterday. But I have another idea for this. What we're going to do is use normal clamps to put that border on here, and then put the long ones underneath, and I think we will be okay. So this one I want to push through a bit more, not that much. It's going to be another toasty day, and then this is okay, and I will put on this plastic cover on the inside, get that done. And then I think we are going to go and do the house while this has a really good chance to dry. And you've seen these windows a million times. You probably don't need to see me failing over and over. You know, I put this, as much as I said that that other one was easy, it's upside down. And it was, I think, super glue. So I am not moving that anytime soon. And we got a clamp that we're going to use there. And a smaller one that we'll use on the other side. Oh, I'm going to go and get a bigger one for that. And that can sit there for a little bit while we do the house. Am I going to get this off? I don't think I am. I am not, so it's going to have to go upside down. Wow, I'm making a pig's ear of this. Alright, I'm disappointed in myself, to be honest with you. It's irritating. Alright, I will be back in a moment. Okay, so we have our base, and we are starting on these bottom rows. And you may have to cut these out. Depends on how yours are placed. Mine don't sit exactly in the holes anyway, so I might get away with mine. So that's going to be from this strip, which has the rounded edges, and you want one of these rounded edges per side, and there should be one spare. So just tear them out gently. Don't like that one, so I'll try again. You probably cut them with a crafting knife. Of course, I put my board away, but that might be the better option. If I don't want to get them all marked like that. I'll have to be painting this and they doing this anyway, but that said, it's probably not so bad. So we're going to need two of these, one for each side at the bottom here. And trial fit it first, so if you do need to cut it out, then you can. Like mine fits perfectly, so I don't need to. Shame they didn't put this down beforehand, because it would have looked. It's, well, I guess it's not much bigger than what the wall is. And then you stick it in. Mine's definitely a different shape to this though. Yes, we're trying to push it against it here, so it matches fine over this side. And this one goes underneath for me. And I was in the process of putting these walls on a bit better, so that's quite handy. Okay, and then you're going to want to glue them in. Like I say, if you need to trim them, now's the time. And I'm just going to use a bit of tacky all around. I could use beacon. Ooh. tacky it is for the win. Like I say, mine goes underneath on this far wall, so because of the way the lights are, it doesn't have to go all the way under like it really wants to do. And just put that on there. It's gone under again. This side really, really wants to go under. And if you get any glue, if you're using something like tacky, it will. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? Now let's do the same to this other side. So I'm thinking if you cut them in the middle before that ends, it have a little bit more stability, maybe. Except for that one that I cut through. Dang it. And there's only one spare, and I don't want to use this one because that got damaged. Now this one's damaged. Depends what the worst damage is in my case. You will do this perfectly. I have no question about it. And it does make a big difference, doesn't it? If I'm very worried about that little nick, I will... and again, it's going to go under on one side and not the other. Okay, and that works. And they reckon it's 5mm or something you need to cut out if it doesn't fit underneath. The others I may still have to cut in from the different floors because we're going to be doing those as well. Yeah, really making it look like it's finishing up, huh? Like I say, mine slightly goes underneath at one end, both of them, so that was kind of handy. If yours has fitted properly so that your pegs are through, like this one's more through, then you're probably not going to have that advantage. But those are done. Next, and you will have one spare. And my little nick here that I did, I'm not too worried about. It's right on the edge there. I'm sure it will get worse damage. The way this build is going, I'll be giving it to my granddaughter, I think, for her to play with. Okay, and the rest of these are 3mm. So you've got the big ones, these rounded ones, and then these are 3mm. These ones at the end, right here. Okay. Then we are going to go to the next floor up, and we are going to be covering these up with 8mm strips, which are the first ones on here. So you've got smaller ones, but this is going to be the... trying it again without the scalpel, you see that? And mine's probably going to need a bit more than that because of the mine can slip between the wall. So I'm going to see if I've got any over, and I might be able to go underneath it to cover up where there's a gap for the wiring. These are quite a bit longer, but again, mine slot between the sides and the wall back here, so that works. I will see what I've got over at the end of doing this. I think this is where we finish with this, so if I've got enough over, then I will go around. The way my build's going, it'd definitely be a plaything for my granddaughter. Which she probably would be very, very happy, because that's what I said I was going to do. And then I'm going to poke this behind. and that one is somewhat on. Like I said, I do have a gap underneath mine, and it was expected because of the, I mean, I guess I could take it down to the middle, but I think I'm just going to see. And then the top one is also going to be 8mm. It's only the real top one which is going to be different. So I don't think I'm going to be able to video this. But the next one up, you want the same. You want the 8mm on the next floor up, and then around the other side. So let me get and do those. I do actually think it makes quite a big difference as well. Right, now we are going to do this top edge with 3mm. So I'll get that done. Then they want you to put the floor in, and then they want you to cover the floor, but I'm going to, I think, do the floor before I put it on here. And the 3mm was the first few on here. Okay, so those are all on. A nice thin strip down. Wrong way. At the top here. Gosh, I can't get it on camera view because I'm doing it the wrong way. The camera is opposite to how I'm thinking. Okay, there we go. So a nice thin strip. What I've done is I've just made sure that all my floors are level with the top. So if anything shows underneath, then it looks like it's the Artex over, because I Artex my ceilings. So that's that. Next, they want you to put your floor on that I have left. So this one here. So let me get this house to one side again. It's a bit dangerous. I'm going to put it on the floor because we're going to need it back again. So what they want you to do is put this floor on and then put your strips around it. So other than this edge and this one, doing it again, this edge up to here is a different depth. So they are going to be bigger, but these ones are all the same. So I am going to put those on first, and those are these strips here, not those ones that I'm trying to pull off now, but this is the one that we're going to use for those other areas. So let's get one or two of these out. So obviously it's going to take more than one strip to go around this floor. So it's going to go on like so, and just need as many as you're going to need. So probably going to get glue on everything now. I have quite the stain on my floor, by the way. I don't even know what that's from. I also have a little round mark. Obviously something's been put on top of it because it's been stored so long. But like I say, the proper way to do this is to fix it to the ceiling first, not do it this way. So just go up to this edge. If you do it this way, it makes more sense to me to do it this way than do it the other way. I don't have any paper down to protect the glue. And then we have made a start. So we will see how many strips we take. I reckon 3. So get another one ready before I glue. In fact, I'll get another 2 ready because I'm going to go with 3 as my guess. Get that ready, and then we're going to use one of the leftover ones which we were using on that basement. No, not those ones, because those ones are curved. Alright, so I'm going to put this on here. I reckon it will be 3. We will see. It is rather guesswork. Ooh, this lid gets tighter and tighter. And then I am going to put the longer ones on, but being mindful that it will need glue into the stairs. So just putting glue on that edge. Because it's so big, it's actually quite difficult for me to video this, by the way. I'm sure you're working that out. goes onto there. And one more, I reckon. I really should put paper down. Put grease-proof paper down, guys. Don't do me. I mean, I think I would find this irritating doing it on the house, whereas this way does seem a little simpler. All into making it simple if I can. So again, just carrying on to use the tacky as I have with all of these. Dogs are going to bark. Toasters here. Thank you. I don't think he heard me. Okay, and pop this last one on. Let's see if my guess was correct that it took 3. A little bit over. Just checking to make sure my edges are good. This one needs to move slightly, which means this one will need to move slightly. So maybe I won't have any over. I honestly will show you and get you in shot in a second. In the meantime, you can see the stain on my floor. It's like an attic room too, so you know it's bound to be what you know it fits perfectly on having 3, by the way. So if you've got some left over, you've probably got a gap somewhere. Right, let me go and clean up my hands, and I will be back for the little strips going on here. Right, and then the strip that you are using for this edge here is 8mm. So you want it lining to your top of the floor but not the bottom, and you're going to go in as far as the corner but not across this back edge. So if you do it this way, turn it upside down and then just literally glue it as such right to the corner and then cut it, because this is where the steps are going to be, so you're not going to be able to. Just making sure I get that on the edge, and then this will cover the top of the inside of the house. And then I'm going to put my floor on. Okay, where is, what have I done with my ruler? So I'm just going to make sure that my fold is good. You know, if I didn't move things so much, it would make my life a lot easier. Okay, and cut that here and get that glued on. Oh, it's toasty. It's a wet one underneath. I was cleaning my desk with it. I just don't have the my greaseproof paper to hand. I think it's got stuff on it at the moment because I'm doing a few things all at once. And then that one will go in here. Like I say, just press it so that it's even with the bottom. And you will have, gosh, I'm being terrible today, and you will have this overhang over here that you can see if you do it this way. If you do it their way, you would have fitted this by now and you won't be having that problem. So for this, I'm going to get it glued into that corner first. So I'm going to do this edge along here. Make sure it is all as far down as I can get, and then I'll do this edge. Making sure I get especially that edge there. And that will be this. And then I'll get some wood glue and put the floor on and just press it down. She's going to be going in her cage soon. I've got to go out. I am trying very much to get this done before I go. And I think this is, for me, this is an easier way to do it. And then I'm just gonna cut it here. Okay, so you can see, get rid of all of this. I don't think you need this again. There's a lot over there, isn't there? Makes me feel like I've missed something. Does it say to keep hold of them? They do say not to glue the, well, they don't say not to glue them, but they use double-sided tape. I'm just not as comfortable using double-sided tape as they'd like me to be. I'm just trying to see if we are ever going to need them again. And evidently they're going to explain how to, after the main entrance wall is fully assembled, they are going to explain how to attach the walls. So maybe we can have it that it's not falling off. Right, let's see how my door frames, my window frame has done. Let's get rid of that. Okay, let's see how this is done. That should be good, and it is. And I am going to get my wood glue that I had put all the way over there, and get this on here. And that will have to sit, and probably have to go out and come back to finish off this video, which will be a split second for you, a few hours for me. Now let's try and do what I tried to do before and do it from this side. Got a hair on there, probably when I dropped it on the floor. Okay, that's looking good. And then I'm going to work on this top part. So basically I'll put this on. Now I've moved it, but it was on. That has actually gone to shape, so that's alright. Then what I'm going to do is do the, got everything all over the show, do the top of it, and we can stick this on. So first of all, put this one in. So our last window, which looks like this, all the rest of the I am going to have to clamp this, so I'm not going to get this finished until I get back. This is a bowed. You will see how far out it is. It's actually quite a way out from the frame. Weakness. I do this, I move my own hand. So I'm going to put one here and one. Can you see how far out it is? I mean, it's like sitting on the edge here, and it should be on the inside, like so. See, it's quite bendy there. Do it that way as well, like so. Alright, that's going to have to sit, so let's get this door on, and we will have to come back and do the window. We're not putting a door on, we're putting the floor on, which is going to be incredibly difficult for me to video, so I will try and do it lying down, but let me go and get my bottle of wood glue. Okay, so get your wood glue on. It's like the same as how you've done your previous ones. I'm just making sure that there's some extra going where these strips are going to be going over. You can, oh, that's a squeak. That's from the strap from the lid. You can spread it if you want to by using a spreader. But generally it should be okay. It will need clamping together So I've got lots of clamps, not here, but in my crafting room that I can go and grab. Well, I don't have lots, so that's probably a little bit of exaggeration. So let's just do this on the side. Ooh. Let's move the coffee cup so I don't knock it over. And all we are going to do is put this on here, matching up those floral panels that we just put on, hopefully this works. And then there's quite a overlap from the floor to the ceiling. I don't know if I can show you. Let's see, can you see how much of a difference? Wow, it's so hard. There's quite an overlap. It's not on proper. I am going to go and what's the name of this, and then I will be back. Clamp it, that's the word. Okay, so everything has had a while now to dry, so that's all situated pretty well. I'm going to put this on the house and then deal with the wall and then deal with these pieces. So if you remember what we, well, of course it's only been a minute for you, it's been a bit longer for me, and this will fit very nicely. So I'm going to pop this in and then I'm going to put those on afterwards. And I sorted out the other side on the inside as well. I did move it. I managed to get it off and moved, and it wasn't too terrible. Puppy. Just after I got a Kleenex on my desk where I was clearing glue off, and she rather likes Kleenexes to play with or rip apart. I actually don't understand it because it takes her 2 seconds to do, and she's over with it real fast. Just gonna, you're not seeing any of that. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, so we're going to pop it on here, and I will use the wall and everything to hold it in place. So I can go from this way onto here, like so, and I'll put a long one on here. Well, I did think I was going to be able to fit through the door with a longer one, but I am not, but it is sitting quite flush anyway. Maybe a weight on here. I'll just turn it up. So as you see, I did turn it around, got that resituated, and this one's the new one. Okay, so that's done. So next we just have to take the clamps off. Oh, I have to put these on. I'll do that in a second. Oh, we'll do it now. It's fine. Let's put these on here. So let's see, we want it with a bendy part like so. So this will actually help keep it onto the frame too. I might try and do that with the other windows, do it this way. It's a bit tricky being out that you don't, other side anyway, that you don't have much to hold it in place, but if it fits quite well it's not so bad. And this just allows for any errors. I'll be able to move that in spot in a moment. Another bit on here. That will stay in nicely. And that works. Okay, that's all there. So looks okay, and it's sitting quite nice on here. Could do with maybe a little bit of weight going on it, but nothing major. In fact, this has already started to take it. It's very warm in here though. This might have slipped a little bit. There we go. Alright, so that's this wall done for issue 100. We've done the chest of drawers. I've given it a couple of coats, desk, not chest of drawers, a couple of coats over the edges here, and on the inside ones as well. So this will need one or two more, but I'll probably leave this now until the next time we touch it. So let's go and get the main house. Alright, and I know it's a bit hard to see. I think that went on quite well, and you can see now the gap between this one here and the outside. So that's where the floor is, and that's the actual house itself. So it goes over the walls here, and that has gone on really well. And I like the fact that I did do this edging first rather than waited on it as well. So it looks pretty good. And then these as well, the ones in the middle, all make quite a difference, don't they, having these strips. And like I said, they weren't quite big enough to cover it, all of it for me, because of the wiring being in between. But if this shows a little bit of Artex, I'm okay with that. I'm not too worried. And I do very much like the bit at the bottom here. I think that looks really cool as well. Makes it look quite almost finished, doesn't it, really? That's our little drawer. It's all looking good. Alrighty, so that concludes issue 100. So although I don't know what I expected, but it was still quite a lot of finishing bits and pieces. So we did quite a bit to this house, and we got these bottom strips on, and I think that looks really good. Done that, we did our little chest of drawers right here. Desk, stop saying chest of drawers. Did that as well. Maybe I should sit it there. And then we did the second window on here as well. So now we have the two windows in, and this is sitting quite well. Could do with a bit of weight, I think, on this side. So I will look at getting that done, because I didn't quite have I thought I'd be able to get the long clamps in here, but I couldn't. It's a bit unfortunate, they're just not big enough. I need to get bigger ones one day. But for now, I'm just going to put a little bit of weight on here, and that should work fine. So thank you very much for watching. Any comments is very much appreciated. I think it's coming along really well. Let me know what your thoughts are. And you know, do like and subscribe if you haven't already. And this will be it for another month. When 101 to 105 comes, I will get them up on the channel quite quickly, and you will be able to see where we go from there. But I do have an idea. Let me see if I can get that up. Let me see what we have coming up. I can tell you. So we're going to be finishing that desk by the looks of it. We are, I think, going to do the middle window of this final wall. I think the middle might even be both of those top ones, actually. And we are going to start on the roof of, I'm thinking, the main build, but I couldn't swear to that. It might be that little bathhouse thing we were doing. Then we're doing two of something else. I have absolutely no idea what those are, so I can't guess what that is. We're doing more work to the bathhouse in 104, and then in 105 we are starting to put some roofing tiles on. Like I say, it could be the bathhouse roof, or it could very well be the main roof, and it looks like we might be building a lighthouse as well, so that's pretty fun. Alrighty, so that's what we got to look forward to in 101 to 105. Like I say, please do leave any comments, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Do check out the other videos on the channel. Hopefully you'll find something that you like to watch as well. And I will see you again next time. Most of all, take care of yourselves till then. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.